movie nerds, and welcome back to Cinematic Sarcastic, podcast that talks all things movies, television. I'm Natalie, and I'm your host. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about Palm Royale, but there is a lot going on this week, so we are going to talk about a couple of new trailers and some exciting things that are happening and some somewhat not exciting things that are happening. So strap in. This one is probably going to be a little bit of a longer episode. Before we jump into Palm Royale, I do want to kind of talk about a few of the new trailers and some movie news that is going on. So we did get two, I think, fairly big, trailers this week. One of those being the trailer for The Acolyte, the new Disney Star Wars series, and the other one being a trailer for the movie Alien Romulus. Now, as far as Star Wars Acolyte goes, I think if you guys have been listening to me for any amount of time, you know that I am not the biggest fan of Disney Star Wars. I always kind of find myself in this odd space of really wanting to love some of the Star Wars material that Disney comes out with and kind of just having been disappointed the last few years. So I will say I am on the fence as far as The Acolyte goes. I am a very big fan of Carrie-Anne Moss, so I'm anxious to kind of see her take, but I'm not necessarily a fan of the sort of kung fu aspect that they've thrown into this one that I feel like a lot of people love. So it's hit or miss, I think, as far as the show goes. If the story is decently done, then I think that Disney could get me on board with this one. But if the story is as poorly written as some of the previous series have been, namely like Ahsoka, that I think they did a particularly not so great job with, then I don't know if it's going to be one of my favorites. But I do like the fact that they are kind of going the murder mystery route. And I do again really love Carrie-Anne Moss. So we're going to have to see how that goes. I was a little surprised to see that once again, they are doing 30 to 35 minute episodes. And I think there are going to be like 8 episodes. So not a lot of material in terms of like how much we're getting out of the new series, but we are going to have to wait and see. Again, I'm on the fence on that one. With Alien Romulus, however, they put out a teaser trailer. It was like a minute long this morning as of the day that I am recording this episode. And I have to say, I am super excited for Alien Romulus. It definitely gives me OG Alien vibes, and I mean OG by like Alien and Aliens, the first 2 films that really gave us that gritty, dark, sort of scary version of Aliens. This one really reminds me of that, so I'm very interested in seeing that movie when it comes out. I will have to say I will probably be watching Alien Romulus from between my fingers because I feel like it is going to scare me to death. There are so many face huggers in just that teaser trailer alone that I know it's probably going to be one of those edge of the seat kind of things. Now, in some not so great movie news that I'm hoping this doesn't really get off the ground, there have been some talks within movie circles that they are looking to have a multi-movie deal remaking The Never Ending Story. And this one makes me want to gouge my eyes out. I can't even imagine. I don't know why they are picking like all of the greatest films of the 80s and ruining them with remakes. I don't know why you wouldn't look to potentially movies that maybe didn't do so well back then and try and remake those and make those better, and or shocking idea, coming up with something new. I know that everyone is really tired of Hollywood remakes, and I cannot imagine that a remake of The Never Ending Story, let alone remaking multiple films is going to go over well. That just sounds like an instant flop to me, and it's really just murdering my childhood at this point. So hopefully that is some news that ends up kind of maybe not going anywhere, but they are in talks for the movie rights, so we will have to wait and see. Now, jumping into the review of Palm Royale, this is a new television series on Apple TV. It stars Kristen Wiig. For anyone who is not familiar, this show is a little weird. I'll just say that. So it centers around Kristen Wiig's character of Maxine Simmons, and it really kind of feels, it's like a 1960s, I want to say it takes place in like 1969. It's like this 1960s sort of rich lady clique that Kristen Wiig is not quite a part of and wants to be a part of. And she is super creepy and stalkery and thievish, trying to just be one of these rich ladies that she sort of reads about in, I guess, what would be like a tabloid magazine of the 1960s that talks about all of the famous people of the Palm Royale Hotel. And I really just, I feel like if this is your cup of tea, as in if this is the type of television series that you generally like, then Palm Royale is going to be a major win for you. They have a completely all-star cast. I mean, we're talking Carol Burnett is in this. Ricky Martin, shockingly, is in this one. Leslie Bibb, Allison Janney. Like, there are a lot of bigger name actors and actresses in this one. Laura Dern as well, I believe, is in this one. However, I don't know that this is something that I personally am super interested in. And it also seems a little bit weird. I saw someone mention in a comment that there appears to be some type of filter over the show that is making a lot of the actresses, Laura Dern specifically, look younger. It's almost like they used that same technology from, I want to say the Star Wars franchise, where they were trying to like age backwards some of the actors, and it's a little unsettling. I will say though, there are some funny points to the television show. Again, I think if this is your regular cup of tea, or these are the types of shows that you like, I think that you will enjoy Palm Royale. I don't think that it is my personal cup of tea. It's not the type of series that I really can get into, because it is just more of like, it's a little bit soap opera-y, which is not necessarily my personal vibe in terms of like drama shows or something of that nature. So Palm Royale is not necessarily a win for me, but I think it is really well done. The costuming is really great. I think the coloration and like sort of set design and things are really great. The old cars are super fun to see, but the show just is not necessarily a win for me in terms of something that I'm interested in watching on the regulars. So those are my thoughts on Palm Royale, as well as some of my thoughts on some of the new and upcoming things that we hope to see in the entertainment space. Subscribe if you want to join the Movie Nerd family, and I hope to see you in the next episode.